So this is a correction in GLD from way back when. And this whole process took 277 days from here to here. And then we rallied, and then we went down more. So, and this was the big move up. So, I see a lot of people on TradingView either have this as we're going to blast off again or we're going to crash. And these things take time. So if you go to SPY, it would take this much time just to get to that 277 mark. Okay. So that's why I think sideways action, maybe down the line, we'll get some big moves. But right now, yeah. But, so I'm kind of bearish, neutralish, and I think that might help the long bond here. The long bond looks like it's done selling off, so we might get another rally in there, which might help the current GC. I'm still long SLV. I'm down 579 on it, so that's my RET. I think probably the Fed might actually hold. They may not. They may let the market crash a little bit, so then you get a little bond spike, and then they may come in and maybe help out. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing now. So I was looking at other examples of inflations and this and that, and sort of the tight wire we're walking right now. So I have two cool examples. So let's take Argentina first. So Argentina in 2001 had a debt default, and basically from a recession. Okay, so their debt to GDP was 53 in 1 year, and this is to show sort of the fragility of having such a high debt load, right? 1 year, boom, recession, 166, unsustainable. So they defaulted, debt default. And it did have, and this was what I particularly wanted to focus on. What happened to the currency, what happened to the inflation rate? Because the previous example of Israel was kind of maybe not as comparable, right? So yeah, Argentina did have an inflation spike to 30-40% from their debt default. So good example. Now I have an even better one, right? So Iceland. This is 2008, 2009. Iceland pretty much had some banks that went bankrupt, and they haven't really recuperated there. So, because they let the banks fail and whatever. So they had a debt default. They did not bail anyone out. But did the currency still suffer, right? And what we see is that, let's see the time period. So this was the krona after the debt default. It did devalue. So it went from 80 to 140. So it did have a currency effect. And the inflation rate, let's see what happened there. It did move up, so it did go up to 15-20%, and that's back at here, even though it doesn't seem that way, but that's the thing about leverage. One thing can go wrong, and you're in a default. But yeah, so in both of those examples, you did have high inflation rates. So that's all. Happy 4th of July.